Okay, so on this question, we have the letter K up there in the power zone, and they want us to solve for that K, round the answer to 3 decimal places. So what do we do? What do we think right away when we see a letter, X, Y, Z, K, whatever, up in the power zone? What's going to get it out of power? Natural log, right? Or really any log, but we like using natural log. So natural log will get it out of power. But first you've got to get this base to power thing alone. We can't do the ln right now. Why not? Because it's got this 50 in the way. We got to get rid of that 50 first. So that's step number 1. So step 1 is to get the 1.14 to the K thing, the base to the power alone. So what'll make that happen here? Let me put in the wall of separation. So what'll do that for us is to divide both sides by 50. Boom, boom. Get that alone, 1.14 to the K. You don't really need those parentheses. Divide that on your calculator. I think it'll come out clean. Yeah. You might notice I divide and get a decimal whenever it's clean. But if it's a decimal that goes on and on forever, I just leave it as a fraction just for convenience. You can do whatever you want. But I'll divide it because that just came out clean. It stopped. In other words, it wasn't a decimal that goes forever. I don't like those. If I get those, I just leave the fraction. I think it's easier. But whichever way is fine. Now what do? We got to get that K out of power. What's going to get that K out of power? You know, natural log, right? So step 2, ln both sides, because logs are the opposites of powers. That's the whole point of their existence. So let's do that. 1.14 to the K. 82.5. All right. So then that K will drop down to the front, won't it? So it'll become K ln 1.14. Right? And then, so the K dropped down to the front. Down to the front it goes. Here, let me, I'm going to erase that and do it in a different color, just so it's consistent. Okay, so the K comes down to the front. And now that we got the K down to the front, step 3. Oh, I should have added L in both sides. Power drops down to the front. Okay, then step 3 is solve for K. So now the K is out of power, just down on the baseline. It's not hard anymore. So now we can just divide both sides by ln 1.14. Boom, boom. K is alone. Hit the buttons on your calculator, right? Type in ln 82.5 divided by ln 1.14. So I'm going to do as well. And I'm getting 33.67821. Usually, I don't know, did they say how far they want us to go on this one? They usually, oh yeah, round to 3 places. Okay, it's only 3 places on this one. So right here where the 8 is, so that 2 just tells me to leave that 8 alone, 33.678. There we go. So what did we do again? So whenever you've got a letter up in the power zone, you know you're going to do ln on both sides eventually to get that power to drop down. But first, you got to get that base to power thing alone. So divide by the 50 on both sides, drops it out. Then the base to the power is alone. Then ln both sides, power drops down to the front. Then you can just divide. Once the power is out of power and it's just down on the ground, you can just divide on both sides. The K is alone. Hit the buttons on your calculator. There we go.